Hey everybody, Tyraku here, and today I wanted to make this video going over a question that I've been getting pretty often on stream lately, and that is what are glyphs, how do they work, how do you use them, and just overall a better explanation on glyphs. So glyphs are a relatively new thing to the game. You get them from Faction Wars, which hasn't been out for an extremely long time, so there still is a little bit of a learning curve to it. But let me jump right into explaining what glyphs are, where you get them, how you get them, and a little bit more information for you. So glyphs are earned through the faction war battles. The faction war cycles in about two to three factions being open per day. Some days you have three, some days you just have the two. Currently, today is Saturday, and we have the Lizardman Crypt and the Dwarf Crypt. So those are the two that's currently open. If you look right here, you can see that Ogren Tribe opens up in 4 hours, Banner Lord opens up in 4 hours, and it says which days the other ones open up. As far as like which day stuff opens up, it's not a huge deal. But let's jump into the Lizardmen as an example. So as you can see over here on the left side, you can see all the different drops that you can get. These are just all the different types of glyphs. And this is where you earn glyphs from. Now, when you look right here on the right side, you'll see that you'll have the star levels of glyphs that are possible to drop. This means that up until stage 4, the only things you can get are glyphs with star levels 1 to 1. From 4 on, it's 1 to 2, 1 to 3, 2 to 4, so on and so forth. Now with the faction crypt keys, you're not actually able to refill them. You get 12 each day, and you can use, well, you should use all of them. You only use crypt keys if you actually win the battle. So for example, if I do stage 3, I got 6 keys currently. Say I don't think I'm gonna be able to win, I just leave the battle, and then the crypt keys shouldn't have used any of them. So I still have 6 crypt keys. So you only use the keys if you actually win the battle. So there's no reason to not try and push to a higher crypt if possible, because you do get higher level glyphs. And I'll jump into what the glyphs give a little bit later, but this is how it works. So you definitely want to try to build up some teams to do these faction crypts no matter what point in the game you are. Obviously the higher level glyphs are significantly better than those lower level glyphs, but even these lower ones definitely can help anybody, and they're definitely worth farming. So some of these factions you're going to do better in, some you're not going to do as well. But same thing with even the campaign. You definitely want to try to get 3 stars when possible. And if you look into the stages, it says how to get 3 stars. You have to have 5 champions and no losses. So you have to have 5 champions from the same faction go through it with no losses in order to get 3 stars. The stars kind of work the same as in the campaign. They give you progress through these little track thing at the bottom, whatever it's called. You can actually see what all you can get from the faction wars. I mean, look through here later on in the star levels, you get quite a bit of reward, so it's definitely worth trying to get 3 stars when possible. Now, jumping into what exactly glyphs are and how you use them. So faction wars is how you earn them, so let me show you how you use them. In order to use them, you go to your champions, which is select a random piece of gear. When you select the gear, you go to upgrade like you always would. And we already got some glyphs applied here, so you can see the plus stats. Let me go to an item that does not have glyphs already applied to it. So whenever you have a glyph applied to an item, you see this little green arrow upgrade-like thing beside the item. That means there's already a glyph been attached to the item, or the item's been enchanted, which is the same thing. So let's go to these gloves, for example. Hit upgrade, and then we hit enchant. Now, when you do enchant, it'll only show you so like you see here, the glyphs that are lit up are glyphs that actually apply to the substats on this item. This item does not have HP percent, doesn't have HP, doesn't have attack percent, so none of these items are lit up. The glyphs only work for the substats, because as you can see, this is an HP percent gauntlet in this example, and there is no HP percent glyph lit up. So if I went up here if I want to use an accuracy glyph for this glove, you see when I clicked on this 1-star glyph that it gives me a range between 1 and 2. That means that whenever I use this glyph, I can either get 1 point of accuracy or 2 points of accuracy. So let's use it and see what happens. So you see I got 1. Say for example, I don't like that 1. I'd rather have a higher number. Well, I can use that same glyph, try it again, and boom, it replaces the 1. Now that doesn't always happen. So let me give you an example here. Well, that one's only 1 or 1. Let me give you an example with this, possibly. It may land differently, or something with a bigger range I would prefer to use. Okay, we'll do it here. So we're going to use 2 resistance ones. So here, we got a +9. That's almost the highest it can be. Now, let me do it again, and it's most likely, okay, it's a +6. So it doesn't actually lower the level, so you can keep using these until you get the highest stat possible, and it won't ever lower the glyph value, but you may end up wasting glyphs by landing on lower stats that don't actually apply to the item, if that makes sense. Now, let's do the same thing with a speed one. It'll land between 1 and 3 plus 2. Now, as you can see in this example, you can equip as many glyphs as you have substats. I mean, if you have a glyph for each of these substats, you can equip it to all the substats. You can replace the glyphs, try to roll higher if possible. Now, you see that the glyphs also have star levels beside them. So for example, this one has 5 stars. Let's go to an item that is 4 stars and has resistance. So I'm looking for any item with a substat of resistance on it. I'm looking for a 4-star item. And let's go to upgrade here and enchant. You can see right here that this 5-star glyph says it can only be used on 5-star artifacts. So say you had a bunch of 6-star glyphs, but you had no 6-star items, you could not use a 6-star glyph on any item below 6 stars. So 1 stars can be used on anything, 2 stars can be used on 2 and below, 3 stars, 3 and below, 4 stars, 4 and below, 5, so on and so forth. So while having higher glyphs would be great, if you don't have the higher level gear to support the glyphs, it's kind of pointless. So farming glyphs at your level, no problem whatsoever. It gives you little extra added benefits to your gear. Could definitely make the difference between winning a campaign, winning a dungeon, winning an arena, or losing the same things. And you can put as many glyphs as you want. It does, of course, use the glyph up whenever you click it. But all your gear can be fully stacked out with glyphs. There's no reason not to do that for your gear. Actually, some gear, obviously, you want to put certain glyphs on more than others, and you do have a limited number of glyphs, so you do want to be mindful about which ones you use and where you use them. But overall, they're definitely worth spending some time doing the faction wars each day, since you are only able to do it for 12 keys. As you can see, these later missions start costing more and more keys. You get to 3 here, and then if I have something unlocked further, I can show you a little bit more. They start getting more and more expensive. They go from 3 to 4 to 5, so on and so forth. So when you're low level, definitely try to get as many glyphs as you can. It definitely helps to upgrade your gear, get a little bit of extra power squeezed out. But that's just a basic overview of glyphs and how they work. So if you have any questions or any comments on future videos you would like me to post, feel free to leave it in the comment section below. I do stream on Twitch every day from 11 p.m. to about 3 a.m. Eastern time. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe on this video. And thank you very much for watching. I hope this video helped you out.